All right, Miss Kajang, what if we talked about humans being built for yesterday?
Why?
So much manufactured stress, and we are assuming we won't break.
What if we talked about that sharks are not the enemy?
Why?
Because it's their habitat and we're the real intruders.
All right, then.
All right.
Let's go. Hello, Scout.
Hello, Dad. You'd like us to talk about untimely humans?
Untimely, yes. Untimely humans.
You guys will get it once we start talking about it.
Humans out of time.
I investigated this a little bit, but it's still a little, it was still kind of tricky to understand, so I'm interested to see what you have to say about this matter.
Yeah, we live in a modern world, and we're kind of still Flintstone people. We're still cavemen, really. Like, things have happened in our existence. Our modern existence is in the blink of an eye compared to the history of us, right? Like 300,000 years ago, humans were hunter-gatherers, you know?
Yeah.
We were cave people, cave folk mostly.
Yeah.
And then agriculture appeared, but that was just like 10,000 years ago. It's nothing. And industrial society, well, that's, like I say, a blink of the eye. That's been around since the late 1800s.
Yeah.
So the way we live today is only, let's call it 150 years old, where we live in these cities and we gather around. Our evolution was for a different kind of a lifestyle. We are flexible enough to survive in the environments we've created. That's part of our evolution, is our brains and our ability to solve problems.
This kind of makes me think about that one fact that you hear when you're a kid, that Cleopatra is closer to owning an iPhone today than she is to the buildings of the Great Pyramids.
Yeah.
It makes you realize how someone that we know so little about, someone that we don't know how she even died, we don't know what she looked like. We always kind of assume, oh, that's ancient, that's so long ago, that's forever ago. But really,
no,
it wasn't.
It just happened yesterday.
Yeah, she looks more like us than she does a caveman.
Yeah, no time has passed.
Yeah.
I think a lot of modern problems that we have can be looked at as an evolutionary disconnect, a mismatch. Obesity, for example. We crave sugar and fat when it's scarce. That's how we evolved, to crave sugar and fat, because those things would help us survive. They would give us energy. They would give us stores and reserves for when food was scarce. Now it's everywhere. We've processed all of our foods to in large part, they're processed for these cravings, sugar and fat. Like the algorithm on your tool is programmed to make you keep scrolling. Yeah. Well, the food's programmed to make you keep eating. Anxiety. We had our threat system evolved for predators. And now it goes off for the phone, emails, what your social status is. Yeah, like it's constantly firing. And it wasn't meant to do that. It was meant to do that when it needed to. Sleep problems. We were evolved to sleep in darkness. We woke up with the light. We went to bed with the darkness. Firelight at some point, you know. Yeah. Now we're looking at our screens at night and wondering why we can't sleep. Loneliness. We're evolved for tight-knit little groups of 50, 100, 150 people, whatever it might be. And now we live anonymously in millions of people in a city, and we're living there with these weird sort of relationships. You know, oh, I have 1,000 friends. Yeah, please name them. You don't really, you know. So all of this leads us to stress, to having all of these stressors. It's I saw a thing that was cool. It was like the idea that a lion would come around once in a while, and you had to be ready to defend yourself or run. But the important thing was that the lion would go away. Like a lion just wouldn't hang around forever. But with modern life, especially in a city, it's endless traffic and pressures and the media and persistent noise, literally and figuratively, right? Yeah. And so your stress response is the same as if you were facing lion after lion after lion. You don't have any recovery time. It's just constantly firing. I think these are real things. This is why people are so stressed, is because we're biologically, we evolved certain systems as a means to survive this constant input.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, or the input is constant now, but it wasn't meant to be constant. It was meant to be a system that worked when it needed to work, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's a huge part of our life. And this is how we're working towards, is more and more we're city dwellers, right?
Yeah.
And we used to live not like that. 45% of the world's population lives in cities, defining cities as 50,000 people plus, like half the world, right?
Yeah.
Another 36% lives in towns or semi-dense areas, so like 5,000 and above, right?
Yeah.
So now you're looking at over 80% of the world lives in places that have 5,000 or more people.
Yeah, that have a population.
Yeah, that are urban, essentially.
Yeah.
This is where we're going, and for obvious reasons, it's easier for food. It's easier to share resources. I get why we're doing that, and again, we're adaptable enough to do it, but we are paying a price for it.
Oh yeah.
And we're not really evolving. So that would be the thing. I think it's an interesting consideration how much modern life directs us in a way that's contrary to what our actual evolutionary growth meant us to be.
Right.
And that needs to be addressed. So people who stick near nature or try to get out to nature, they're going to be way better off. People who shut off their electricity when they try to sleep are going to be better off. People who can modulate their food intake and try and avoid all the processed sugars and fats are going to be better off. These are all things you can ignore them, but they just pile up. And the stress, again, the stress is the big one, right? We all have stress, and it's a big part of life, but modern life creates stresses that shouldn't exist, and they just endlessly pile up.
I actually formed a little bit of a theory.
Yeah.
Not about this, but related to it. Growing up, I thought that cavemen were they ate meat, and they were these massive men that ate lions for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
But really, we were omnivores originally, like fully
definitely
plant-based, vegans, I might even say. My theory is that we evolutionize instinctually. We don't instinctually. We don't evolutionize for things like technology and stuff like that. We evolutionize with instincts, like things that we have to evolutionize for. So maybe wars and stuff like that.
I think you kind of made up a word there, but it works.
Yeah, it does, exactly. Like for wars, maybe if our planet is in a never-ending war in the future, then our bodies over time would evolutionize for that way of living. Just like the cavemen evolutionized to meat when they found fire because they could cook it, and then they grew bigger and stronger, and that helped them evolutionize to be stronger, better humans.
Yeah.
So that's my theory.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the cooking meat thing, when we understood how to manipulate fire and then we could cook meat, that definitely allowed our brains to get stronger.
Yep.
Our brains use up most of the energy our body uses during a day is used by the brain. And that's definitely allowed us to adapt and to create these new environments.
Yep.
But are we physically adapting? Because look at the levels of like suicides, depression, all of these mentally.
Yeah.
Our biology is, I think it's just firing too much. Like our stress responses are endlessly firing, and this is a huge problem. And sure, we can adapt, but we're kind of an experiment now.
Yeah.
We're almost, that's what we're almost doing. In a way, as humans, we're experimenting with our own existence and seeing what we can handle.
It's a crazy thing to think about.
It is crazy, but we kind of are doing that. And what are our limits? Like, do we have limits? Are we going to break?
I think to a certain extent, we are sort of de-evolving. That's the last time I'll be saying evolving because it's sounding weird in my mind now. I feel like it's not right.
No, it is. But the evolutionized thing, I have to ponder that. That's ponderable.
Wow, stealing my words now, are we?
Oh, no, I'm
Pondering
doubling down on
and
them. I'm using your words in sentences and making them come to life. I feel like I'm helping your cause.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so there you go. We're building these nests, and I'm not sure that we're suited to live in them.
Nope.
We shall see. Or I guess I won't see.
I will probably.
Yeah, you
Maybe.
might. You might. Your kids will. Your kids will. All right, Irish sharks. You have some concerns about sharks and their place in the whole pantheon of existence.
Yeah, actually, I have a lot to say about this because, I was doing what a teenager does. I was just, scrolling, and I saw 4 shark attacks in Australia this week. So I did a little more investigating, and yes, 4 shark attacks in 2 days or something like that. I was super freaked out, so I did a little more investigating. I found out that these sharks didn't feel threatened or targeted or anything like that. I thought, well, why are they attacking then? It turns out that they're attacking because of the rain. It makes the water more water, so they start to come in more. And
it probably agitates the reef and stirs things up, does it not?
Yeah, it does. So it just brings in sharks.
Yeah.
And I was kind of confused because all the news things that I was seeing, tragedy, man attacked by shark on surfboard.
Yeah.
And it is, you know what? I feel for that person's family. I feel for him. It's horrible. But at the same time, if somebody entered, this is the one that I like to use. If somebody enters your backyard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uninvited, they walk in and they have this threatening looking board in their hands, okay? And they're a shark, by the way, so they look threatening as well. They walk into your backyard. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're just gonna stand there?
Yeah.
No. You're gonna, especially if you're in places like the US, you're gonna attack. That is a shark threatening, that looks threatening in your backyard. Whether it is or it isn't, it's threatening. I think that humans are brought up to think that sharks are these horrible animals and they're evil and they attack all the time. There's about 50 shark attacks every year. Yeah,
but
you heard that right. 50.
Okay, before you get into that, there is legitimacy, though. It's an innate fear, right?
Totally. We're going to get into that.
Yeah,
we're going to get into that.
Fear.
We're going to get into that.
Yeah.
There's 50 shark attacks, about 50 to 60 every year, right? Sometimes even 40. Out of those 50, let's say, that get attacked, only 5 to 10 of those people die or end up in, critical condition.
Yeah.
So that's, once again, horrible. Horrible and terrible. But 100 million estimated sharks are killed every year.
Yeah, and
annually.
It might be
it could
way
be more.
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't totally know because there's illegal ones too, ones that we aren't aware of. I remember when I was little, I watched a video and it was these 3 guys and it was on YouTube too, YouTube Kids, and they were fishing for sharks.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that if they're using the sharks, doing whatever with it, eating it, using if they're fishing for a purpose, the sharks.
Yeah, I guess so.
If they're just fishing like they used to do in Asian places where they just for the shark fin soup, they were chopping off the fins and throwing the sharks back in the ocean.
Yeah.
That's it. Just chopping off the fins, man. That makes me exceedingly angry. Oh, it's so sickening. I saw a thing that was talking about there might be 270,000 sharks killed every day.
I mean, that's
3
just
sharks
gross.
a second. It's so gross.
That's just nasty.
So gross.
Honestly. I mean, just to think, what if a larger species came down to our planet, that even though we were here first, right? But they came down to our planet and started just taking us out one by one. 3 every second.
Yeah. Yeah,
what?
we'd have some concerns.
Exactly. So how do you think the sharks feel? Not very happy, I bet. Oh, hey, where's Stevie?
So,
he just swam under a boat and they decided that it was his time.
So your thing here is just the disconnect between how many sharks are killed yearly, annually, daily, and how many humans actually die.
Yeah. And now I want to talk about the actual fear of sharks. It's called galeophobia, and it's a real thing.
Yeah, sure.
It's a crippling phobia. I think that to a certain extent, the fear of sharks is definitely instinctual, once again.
Yeah.
Because they're predators, they're large, they have sharp teeth. That's just our nature to be afraid of such an animal. But a lot of it is just mental. It's just because we've been told throughout, like, growing up, in movies, books.
Jaws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've just been kind of programmed to think, sharks, they're the predators of the ocean.
They're the apex predators, right?
Oh, 100%.
I wonder if some of it's cellular, if it's encoded in us, like our evolution is such that it directs us in a certain direction. Maybe that's part of our encoding too. Like, I believe we came from the ocean, and in the ocean, the sharks are the apex predators, and so maybe there's some kind of encoding in us that keeps us very wary of sharks. That would make some sense too.
Yeah.
I think our concerns, when you go in the ocean, your concern about sharks is legit from a psychological point of view. From a real point of view, it's not legit at all. Because like you said, what is there, 60 attacks a year, 80 attacks a year, 10 deaths? Like, come on, man. There's way more people are dying in every city every minute getting smoked by a car.
Yeah.
Like, you should be way more scared of cars than a shark.
Yeah, so when I was doing investigating, I came across an interesting comparison. So 1 in 11.5 million, the chances of getting attacked by a shark are 1 in 11.5 million. So you're more likely to get struck by lightning, which is 1 in 79,746.
Which is a way greater odds of getting struck.
Yeah.
Way higher.
And then I thought this was funny.
Is that how low the odds are of lightning?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty...
Yeah.
That's actually shockingly possible.
And then I thought this was funny. Or getting hit by a fallen coconut, which is 1 in 10,000. So you're more likely to get hit on the... Yeah, you're more likely to get hit on the head by a falling coconut in the Bahamas than you are to get attacked by a shark in the Bahamas.
I always think about that where we live, because you're always walking under coconut trees, and mangoes too. Even a mango, man, getting cracked from a mango dropping from 30 feet.
It's happened to me.
That was
it was a ripe one.
Yeah, it was small and ripe.
Yeah.
But that was bad enough, actually.
Yeah.
No, a full coconut, that could, like, do serious damage, man. That could put you out of business.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Now, am I saying that you shouldn't be scared of sharks? No, I have a fear of the ocean. I don't like deep waters. It actually quite scares me quite a bit. But I think there are greater fears that are a little more smart to have. I'm not saying that if you go snorkeling in Baja, California, and you see a bull shark swim up and you're nose to nose with it, I'm not saying you shouldn't be scared. Obviously,
I would be.
That's a bull shark. If a 10-foot great white swam next to you while you're in a shark cage, should you be scared? Probably not, because you're in a cage, you're by a boat.
Well,
Is it frightening? Well, yeah, but you put yourself in that situation. You're in a shark cage.
I think more importantly to your original point is that the risk of sharks is almost nothing, so there should be almost no fear.
Yeah.
Really, there's no risk. The risk is so nominal that it shouldn't even be a concern. And yet, if you're a shark, you should have huge concerns.
Yeah.
Every time we get in the water, anywhere near the water, and I'm sure sharks are.
I wonder if there's somewhere, and like a mom shark is telling their baby shark that if you see a boat, don't go near it. That probably is a thing.
Probably.
Like if sharks can actually talk to each other, like in a previous episode we talked about talking animals.
Yeah.
I wonder if they genuinely...
Oh, they'd for sure be telling us telling themselves to steer clear of us, man. No question.
Yeah.
When I was diving, you would hardly ever see sharks. They were in the water. They were all over the place, man.
Yeah.
They're on the reef. They're feeding. They're part of the ecosystem near the reef. But you would hardly see them because whenever you get in the water, humans are big. So we displace a lot of water. And that's how most fish understand the size of something, by its displacement as it moves through the water, right? They have ways of perceiving that, okay, something big's here. And so they take off. Humans are the only creatures that I'm aware of that for no reason will confront other creatures.
Yeah.
All the other creatures in the world, if something big's around, they're gone unless they're hungry.
It's just, that's the circle of life, though.
They're not looking for trouble. Your analogy at the start there made me laugh. It reminded me of when I worked in the bush and people would ask me, oh, aren't you afraid of bears and bears and bears? And I'd be like, man, I'm going into their backyard. It's like if I was sitting on my couch and I was watching TV and a bear ripped through on a quad between me and the TV, of course I'd be like, whoa. You'd be freaked out, man.
If you book a ticket to go on a snorkeling tour and you see a clownfish, you're not surprised. Oh, look, there's a seashell. I'm on the beach.
Yeah,
what?
No, it's their world.
It's their home. The ocean is the sharks' home.
So I would say
they were here first.
Oh, I agree 100%. And what we're doing to sharks is outrageous, and they don't deserve it. And they're not these threatening beasts, just like the bears. The bears are not threatening beasts. I was in the bush thousands and thousands of times, and I saw bears a few times, and there was bears all the time all around me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't seeing them because they didn't want to be seen, and they were no threat to me. I was way more of a threat to them and their habitat than they were to me. Like, sharks harm humans incidentally. Most of the time, it's just they're testing you out or they're wondering what it is. Nothing comes of it. Whereas human harm sharks, that's structural. Like, we're out there doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Or we don't care that we're doing it. No, it's bad,
man. And now,
man.
keep in mind, this is coming from me, someone who has quite a big fear of the ocean. So, honestly, if I'm saying this, then you probably don't have much to fear. Also coming from someone that grew up right next to the ocean. So
yeah,
you're good. Trust me, you're good.
Yeah, sharks we're gonna wipe them out. That's what we're gonna do.
Totally. They're already endangered species.
Yeah, for sure. There's all kinds of
hammerhead sharks. They're quite endangered.
Yeah, it's quite disgusting. So hopefully that'll help, or hopefully that'll get people to reconsider sharks as these epic beasts and understand that they're not really, to us at all, a threat.
Yeah.
Good job, Irish.
Thank you.
Look at you, a shark advocate.
Yeah. It's because of when I went through my marine biologist phase.
Yes.
Which I don't know why, because once again, I don't like the ocean.
You're John Steinbeck, Cannery Row.
Who knows why?
You. Okay.
I like the shallow end.
You do like the shallow end of the ocean. All right, Irish, what if you could build your own city? What would that look like?
Okay. First of all, my perfect city, no skyscrapers. You wouldn't see a skyscraper anywhere. There would be lots of malls everywhere, and every house would be customizable. So every person that lives there would have their house customized to their exact wants and needs. It would all be very affordable. And this was in a perfect world, by the way.
Yes,
it would
clearly.
all be super, very affordable. You need clothes. You know what? Perfect. You can get a cute top for a good price. Oh, my kid needs new school stuff. Perfect. There's a Walmart right around the corner with perfectly priced items that fit your every need. Like me personally, I'd want a very pretty 60s house, living room indented in the floor, large, funky chandeliers. The weather would be really good too there. The thing I'm very adamant about is no skyscrapers, no tall buildings, nothing like that. Everything would be solar powered and from windmills and that kind of stuff. It would all be that. We wouldn't have pollution in my city, none of that. Every car's electric or you ride your bike. Everything's very accessible. Works would be very fun, jobs and stuff like that.
Oh my.
You'd have coffee shops that would be super fun.
So it's all rainbows and unicorns?
And every coffee shop is, you guessed it, a cat cafe.
Oh, okay.
And they just kind of walk around and it's, you know those cat islands where there's cats everywhere? That's what my town would be like, my city.
It's you're describing a dystopia now.
Oh, sure. People would literally do anything to live in my city.
Literally?
Yeah.
Would they literally do anything
they literally
to live? To live? Would they really like to be near your cat island? Oh,
Probably.
can you imagine the noises from that all day long? Cats fighting.
Well, that's his thing. That's the thing. So
I suppose all your cats though would be just get along.
Yeah, they would. So the cats aren't in my city. My city is
you wouldn't have rats then.
My city is actually an island, and so there's a bridge to the cat island. So if you drive your electric car with your coffee to the cat island.
So there's an island in the island.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So that's my perfect city, honestly.
Mine has no cars, man. It has nothing with motors. Nothing with motors. So you leave your cars around the outside if you even need one. You probably do ride share if you got to go somewhere to the airport or whatever. There's cars you can borrow, ride, whatever.
Yeah.
No cars. You get everywhere on foot, bicycle, no problem. Nothing motorized. That would be for starters for me. And I would be more of like a collection of villages. I'd definitely have skyscrapers because you got to grow up. But I do them, see how sometimes they're, in some place in the world now, they're trying to green up their skyscrapers. Eh?
Yeah, I like that.
So I don't know how they're going to pull that off long term with as far as rotting out concrete, but go for it. So I would like that. It's like sort of a lot of green, a lot of places where you could walk and get away, but still a city. And so it would be very community oriented, like you're like very much like Mexico is, how it's very tribal in the community, and each one has its own bodega and their own ferreteria, and there's you can live within the community nicely too, but you could go out to other communities. But because there's no cars, you're never going to go. You're not going to go on a 4-hour trek across to the other side of town unless you really had a reason to go there. And if you did, well, you'd walk or you'd ride your bike. And I think that would be huge. So I kind of germane to the original conversation about stressors, trying to relieve the stressors, right? Yeah. And I think getting rid of traffic and the idea that you got to hurry everywhere would totally take care of that.
Yeah.
Because you would plan, man. You would have to plan ahead. If your work was a half-hour walk away, well, you can't leave 15 minutes and then say, oh, I'm late because, no, man, you're late because you left too late.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, oh, the traffic was this and this guy cut me off and this woman did this. And so I would like that idea. Lots of green, definitely no cars, a contained, I imagine almost little cities together and separated by green and some water, and that's my idea of utopian. So trying to combine a village life, keeping us together because I get why that's necessary, but also getting us back to a way of living that's less stressful, that has less ridiculous stresses that are manufactured by us, so that we can have McDonald's on top of our pizza while we watch TV and surf the net on our phone, waiting to see what somebody tells us we should be doing next.
I'd like to say...
Ta-da!
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I'd live there. I'd like to say you mentioned the green on the skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Me and my friends invented that in the 2nd grade, so they must have stolen our manuscript.
They probably did.
One time we had a teacher come in and say, oh, if you had an abandoned city that was full of pollution, how would you fix it? And we put a bunch of plants on top of a building. So whoever stole that, sleep with one eye open.
They were
because that was mine.
All right.
We invented that, and you stole that. That's stolen. I could sue you.
Okay, there you go. Sleep with one eye open. There's some more for the eventual subpoenas that will come.
I could sue you.
Okay. All right, Irish. Episode the 66th.
I love you.
I love you very much. Next time.
Next time.
Mm-hmm.